The well filter mechanism serves multiple purposes. Its main purpose is to filter down a database or a project into a more reasonable size so that you can find the wells that you're looking for in the well list and um, work in a smaller set. Uh, so in this example, I'm just going to show you, right now there is no filter. We have all these wells. But if I start to, say I just want Abraxas, for instance, you'll see that there's 3 potential wells that are Abraxas. So I'm going to say, okay, let's do that. If I say okay, it filters my data set into these 3 wells. So I just have 3 now. So everything I do, whether it's the map or batch mode economics, or just, cycling through wells, it's just gonna involve these 3. The other thing the filter can do is you could say, all right, I'm not interested in what XTO is doing. Their wells, there's something wrong with them. I just want them out of my project. You can filter on XTO and hit the trash can button, and it will delete all of those wells out of the project. I'm not going to do it here because I want them in my project, but that's how you would get rid of a lot of wells at once if you needed to. Otherwise, you would have to hit this delete button up here to individually delete wells. So let's take a look at the batch mode and the economics real quick. We have 3 wells that I want to run together at once. And I've already worked these wells, so each one of these wells has economic parameters already typed in. That's important. When you're doing batch economics, all of the wells that you're running need to have been worked. It makes perfect sense, if you come from an Aries world or whatever, where you have to go into each well and hammer it out before you can run the whole project to get it to run correctly. It's the same thing here. There's some tricks and tools to work each well faster, but in this case, I have worked each well. And here we can select the wells that we want to run, and we could either do, Control A, which selects all of them. We can go through by hand and just start selecting them. You can select the first one, hold down Shift, and select the last one. Once you have your wells selected, the second column is where you select your cases. And the cases are pretty self-explanatory if you come from a Aries world. Each case, you can store different forecast curves and different economic parameters so that you can model different cases. And in this case, I've made it simple for you to understand by putting UBSAT and base case. So I'm just going to move the base case. So if a well has a base case, it'll use it. If it doesn't, it'll look for a default case. If it has a default, it'll use that. If it doesn't have a default, it'll look for an UBSAT. So that's kind of the order that it looks for economics in each of these wells. Once you have your cases ordered properly, you can tell it what kind of output you want. So in this case, I'm going to do 100 years of yearly data with a 10% discount rate. And the effective date, you can either choose auto, which is likely going to do probably first production, or if it's a particular situation where you need to make a bid, like a May 1st bid or something like that, you can do that. So I'm just going to put in January 1st. And then whenever you're ready, you can just hit the run button. And it will run each well individually. And when it's done, which it is now, you can read off the yardsticks and the output. All this output and all these yardsticks are from the batch run. Kind of ignore this area on the left that has the eco params. That's is not related to the batch run itself. The batch run is a combination of all the wells. So the yardsticks is your output, and the output is the final answer. So in this case, if we were to bid on these 3 wells, kind of the point forward cash flow, or PV10, is in this case $10 million.